A good ACT team is much, much more than the sum of its parts. A well-functioning ACT team acts almost as if it has a life of its own, and it's reflected in the consumers who are being treated with ACT. Each team within an agency must meet at least the minimum Medicaid requirements and be MDCH approved to use the Medicaid encounter codes. Some people call these the billing codes, but these are the Medicaid encounter codes. And the code is H0039. If you are providing family psychoeducation within an ACT program, the Medicaid encounter code is H0039AM. Psychiatric evaluations, medication reviews, nursing assessments, etc. are all covered under this H0039 encounter code. ACT is a set of intensive clinical, medical, and psychosocial services, and it's the most intensive non-residential mental health service in the public mental health system. ACT is provided by a multidisciplinary team who shares service responsibility. Services are tailored individually to each consumer according to the individual plan of service. Services are flexible, and the team has the ability to quickly adjust treatment intensity according to each consumer's needs.
ACT is a 24/7 provision for these individuals.
It's intended to be used at the intensity a person needs for as long as a person needs it.
They address a lot of different things that a doctor in a primary care office wouldn't think about or doesn't have to deal with.
People getting ACT services must have a primary Axis 1 diagnosis to qualify for ACT. ACT is intended for people whose symptoms remain bothersome in spite of medication adherence. The symptoms might greatly interfere with self-care or cause a risk of harm to self or to others. There may be socially disruptive behaviors, frequent use of the hospital or crisis residential services, homelessness, a risk or inappropriate incarceration, or the person may be exiting a jail or prison. ACT is a shared service model. No one has a particular consumer, although particular staff members usually are assigned to oversee the paperwork, like the medical record and the process. The core components of ACT are psychiatric care, counseling and psychotherapy, housing support, substance use treatment, employment and rehabilitation.
We have to rely on resources available in the community, supports, even clergy. Religion, spirituality still plays a very important role in the lives of people in general in society. Well, it's no exception with individuals who also have mental illness.
With respect to substance abuse, I think it's essential that a facility, a program, either have good in-house substance abuse treatment capacity or good working relationships with substance abuse treatment facilities.
I get DBT, which is really helpful, and I see my psychiatrist, and I get contacts where we go out and talk and stuff like that. And I've been in other groups, and I'm going to be in other groups too.
Which groups are appropriate for which members? One of them I took 5 times.
Examples of psychiatric activities are team meetings at least weekly, psychiatric appointments during regular office hours, psychiatric evaluations, psychiatric meetings and consultations, medication reviews, home visits, staging beneficiaries or consumers, phone consultations, telemedicine.
With the rules, a weekly team meeting is mandated. This is, you have team meetings where there's no patients in the room. So this, I think, is a nice addition, that we talk with other clinicians about the patient.
John C.
He got Amazon to Tuesday HS. He said that he really likes the Zyprexa now that it's been changed back to 7.5 milligrams. Suddenly doesn't have any more side effects and everything is really great. Loves it. Still working. NAD.
So no side effects, no withdrawal symptoms.
Our team gets frustrated that we will do a clinical meeting with the doctor in the morning and let him know how the people are doing that he's going to see that day. And then when he actually sees them, that everything gets addressed or followed through.
We've insisted on physicians having time with patients. And we use the time. We use the time to build rapport, educate, support, clarify diagnoses, consider treatment options. But I really want to encourage the clinicians out there to work with their administration to push for adequate time with patients. What is adequate time? Evaluations, I think, should be at least 60 to 90 minutes. I think medication reviews should generally be 30 minutes, at least having that much time available. There's a lot of pressure to move to 20-minute or 15-minute appointments. I think it's being penny wise and pound foolish. Our performance has been outstanding when we've compared it to our peers by putting the time and energy into doing quality work up front. So I really agree that we need to take time with our patients. It's critically important. To shortchange that is to be penny wise and pound foolish.
If I believe this patient I need to see this patient again at a frequency, I need to be able to say, no, I need eyes on. There's things going on here that it's important for me to evaluate the patient in such and such an interval.
They're so knowledgeable about mental health. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I get good feedback, when I'm talking to them.
He's very aware of all my meds, what's going on with me. He stays in contact with my primary physician and the doctor that's treating me. Because a lot of these drugs have mental side effects.
Our psychiatrists are pulled in many different directions, and then they're getting phone calls throughout the day. Like, as soon as they're done seeing this person, then they're making 2 or 3 phone calls that they've gotten why they've seen this person.
I think that pace is the hardest to learn because you have to be on your toes. You have to be on your A game every day.